Hello moms and dads, a very warm welcome to another episode of Today's Parent. I'm your host Christine Kasina. It's a pleasure to have you, and I bet if you're a new parent, you are going to enjoy today's show. We are going to talk about how to bond with your newborn baby. And in studio we have Shiro Shwera, loved by moms, loved by parents, who's going to empower you on how you can bond with your baby better. Shiro!
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Really nice to have you.
Thank you, Christine.
Tell us briefly, because some of us know you, but I'm sure most people who are watching are wondering why we are so excited to have you. Why do parents love you so much? Why do they love you?
Well, because I support them, I educate them, I empower them to let them know that they can have an effortless and joyous birth experience. Yeah. I support them with breastfeeding when they're having challenges. So I'm their go-to person. So that's what I do as a passion. I support mothers and their families. So.
And your platform is called Nurturing Moms.
Yes, it is.
I love that.
And I have a YouTube channel as well called Nurturing Moms.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. You know, we take it for granted. And I know you meet a lot of these parents, especially moms, that we assume when you become a mom, you've just given birth, automatically you're going to connect with your baby.
Yeah.
And people do struggle, moms do struggle to bond with their babies. Yeah. Why is that?
I think, first of all, there's the myth that we have to debunk today, that you imagine it to be love at first sight. When I see my baby, oh my gosh, like my heart is going to melt. It doesn't happen. Yeah. Actually, research says for 20% of moms and dads, they just feel nothing.
Yeah, like... Yeah. And who is this?
Who is this? Yeah. They have no emotion of love, of joy towards this baby. And it's not unusual. It can take a couple of days. So bonding is not that by now, first day you have your baby, you should have bonded. It can take some time for some people. So don't feel guilty about that. Because that's another thing that moms feel guilty about. Yeah. That why am I not feeling what I expected to feel when I saw my baby. Okay. And it can be a result of a number of things. So one of them is maybe a traumatic birth. So she expected her birth will be amazing, but then
labor will be short.
And labor will be short, and she has a difficult time. The second thing was maybe you have your baby early. You didn't expect to have your baby early, and you're like, oh my gosh, my baby came early. And on top of that, they're in ICU or in HDU. It takes away. So
the stress of dealing
You're
with that.
You're separated also from this baby. You don't get to hold them. Some of them have so many wires around them. You can't hold. You just told you
That's
go.
Stressful.
It is stressful.
That is stressful.
Mothers experience postpartum anxiety or postpartum depression. So with that also takes away the bonding.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You know, we've talked about PPD and we've done it in a previous show. We hear moms talk about it, postpartum depression.
Yes.
Was it there with our moms, or it's a new thing?
No.
Or they didn't know about it?
It was there. Postpartum depression is a depressive episode that comes as a result of childbirth. Happens to about 20% of mothers.
That's a big number.
Yes. Okay. Now it's coming out a lot more because we don't have support. We don't have much of social support. It's lacking. Our mothers are still working. They're still busy. They're still traveling the world. Yeah. Who are you staying home with? Maybe your husband is doing his own biashara. Yeah. He can't get the 2 or 3 week paternity leave 2 weeks.
No.
So who are you left with? Maybe your nanny, your friends, your sisters, your cousins. Maybe they're too busy to come and watch over.
So you're pretty much alone.
So you find yourself alone, struggling and wondering, I'm not enjoying this experience. What do I do? Yeah. Yeah. So it can affect your bonding with your baby.
So what causes, apart from, you've mentioned, of course, PPD, when you're separated maybe at birth.
Yes.
You have, you know, a difficult labor and birth. What else could cause somebody to struggle to bond with their baby?
Could be you give birth to a baby you didn't expect. They look different from what you expected. Okay. So I know somebody who gave birth to a baby who has Down syndrome. You've done all the anomaly scans. You checked on everything.
Nothing
it did not pop out that your baby has Downs. Yeah. And then you give birth and it's a shock of, whose baby is this? I didn't know this was going to happen. So it can take a while because your expectations versus your reality.
It's two different things.
It's very different
things.
So by the time you first accept my baby is special and my baby looks different from what the siblings look like.
That's a process by itself.
Yeah. So it can affect your bonding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Focusing on the baby, how does it affect the baby when we don't bond with them well?
Oh. It can have detrimental effects. Actually, they say bonding is the bedrock for what do you call this, mental development by the time they're 2 years old. By the time this baby is 2 years old, they're rapidly developing. And when they get to 2 years old, it's because of how you've bonded, how you've socialized them, how you've played with them that affects their brain development.
Right.
So if you don't socialize with your baby, you don't bond with them, it affects how they attach to people, and it affects how their brain develops. So by the time they get to 2 years of age, they are different in different behavior from a baby who has bonded and is attached to their family, or one person in the family or more. Yeah, so it affects them. Oh, yes. You get fussy babies, crying babies. Later in life, they don't know how to socialize with other children because they don't know how to be close to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay? So what are the ways you can bond?
Even before you go there, we focused on the mom. How about if your baby, you are working very hard to bond with your baby.
Yes.
But your baby is making no effort whatsoever. Is it possible to tell if your baby is having, attachment issues or bonding issues? Can you tell?
At what age?
Newborn. At newborn, for example.
No, it's difficult to tell. And you see, for newborn, they just sit there and they just look at mommy and they just accept everything you do. And sometimes mom says, I feel like my baby doesn't love me. So I'm like, no. By that age, they haven't yet formed an attachment. It forms at between 3 months and 7 months. They attach themselves either to Christine or to daddy. They choose one primary person.
Okay.
Then after that, they can get attached to
other relationships.
Okay. So between the 0 and 3 months, no, it's just they like the person who's picking them up when they cry. So rapid response to their crying. They're like, oh, this person is good.
This person
and I can
is
trust them. Yes. Somebody who's playing with them, socializing with them.
I like them.
I can trust them. They smile with me. They have a warm voice. They sing to me. So they realize, okay, I like this person and I'll get attached to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Focusing on our topic for today.
Okay.
How then can a mom, for example, bond with their baby? What are the ways to do that?
Number one, because I'm a lactation specialist, I will always say breastfeeding.
Very important.
Very. Because breastfeeding promotes, first of all, the bonding between mom and baby. You have no reason. Yani, you are forced to just be here all the time.
I will have to look at you,
touch you, kissing, looking at the hairs. Baby probably has their hands in your mouth. You can smell them. The skin-to-skin contact.
It's a beautiful moment.
Promotes bonding with you and your baby. And one of the disadvantages of bottle feeding is if you're not breastfeeding, you can not necessarily have to bond with your baby because anybody else around the home can bottle feed. But with breastfeeding, so nyonyesha mtoto, so they are brought to you. You're forced to bond. So even if you didn't like this baby, you're feeling, oh my God, I don't think I'm feeling you, it ends up calming.
You fall in love with the baby.
You fall in love with them. So one day something happens or you're separated from them, maybe you go to hospital, and you wait for 2 hours maybe for your checkup, and you come back, you're like, oh my God, I miss my baby so much. Then you realize, oh my, I actually have a special bond with them. So breastfeeding.
Okay.
Then skin to skin. So not only mom can do skin to skin, even dad.
Yeah.
You just take out your shirt and undress baby, leave the diaper on and wear them. Most times we think skin to skin or kangaroo mother care is for babies who are sick or born prematurely. But no, even for grown babies who are born term, you can use that for bonding. Okay, singing to the baby, even if you're not, your voice is not one of those things. I am blessed and I can sing. I have a beautiful voice. Sing to them, but then they react more to singing than voice. Right. They calm down. They keep quiet to listen. So if you have a baby who is very fussy and crying, just go into their ear and just sing a song. Could be Twinkle Twinkle.
How sweet is that?
Quiet. It's very sweet. So they bond with you as a result. Okay. Then another thing you can do is read.
Read.
Yeah.
Shira, before we read, I want to take you back because in my mind I have to ask you this question.
Okay.
Because being fair to other moms, who don't get the opportunity to breastfeed for one reason or another.
Okay.
If my only option is then to bottle feed, just going back to the topic of feeding, how can we bond then, when we are bottle feeding? Okay. Is there any tip you can share there?
Okay. So I mentioned skin to skin. You can do skin to skin.
Yes, you did.
And many times, bonding is not like a set time, a set day, a scheduled time that we bond. Many times you're bonding without knowing. Do you know how? Changing the baby's diaper, bathing them, feeding them with the bottle, looking into their eyes, speaking to them, cuddling them, you're still bonding. So just because a mother unfortunately has not been able to breastfeed, those are some of the ways you inadvertently are bonding. You didn't mean to bond, but you are, because
the alternative ways
you're
to do that.
responding by caring to your infant, taking care of them, their physical needs, their emotional needs. So it doesn't have to be that you have to be on the breast. And remember, you can do skin to skin, even if you are not breastfeeding.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good point. Back to reading.
Okay. So reading should even start in pregnancy. So it is encouraged that it promotes literacy, with your baby, and also bonding. So this is a 1 week old, for
the way I'm
example.
looking at
I know.
you.
Let me explain. 1 week old. So now she's been born. 1 week old. You're reading. You're thinking, by the way, I'm reading to the walls. But do you know what? They eventually start to listen to your tone. They listen to your voice, how you're reacting and your emotions. So she may be looking elsewhere, but bonding it takes place. It promotes bonding and also literacy. Right. You'll realize at 6 months, this baby, all she wants to hold is a book. Cannot read, but wants to hold a book. I have a niece who every day, she's 1, she'd be carrying a book around.
Wow.
And she loves to read till today because her mother used to read to her from the time she was weeks old.
So for moms who are listening and dads who are listening who would want to have a child who loves to read,
start
that's
early.
A good pointer.
Yes,
that's
you've got to start
pointer.
early. Start early, make faces, make different intonations in terms of what's happening in the
story.
In the book,
in the story, yes.
Make it fun, but read. It could be 2 pages, but it could be part of your bedtime. That once we bath the baby, we've dressed, we've bottle fed or breastfed, then you open a book. And open, like you're holding baby, open the book and read.
And they can see the colors.
They can see colors,
of course
they touch things. You know, initially you don't want the paper. You want
the hard one.
Yes, so that...
And you actually do have baby-friendly infant books, huh?
They're there.
They're there.
They're so there.
They're there.
Yeah. So one of the ways to bond is also reading.
So we've talked about reading, we've talked about skin to skin, we've talked about breastfeeding and stroke bottle feeding as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Massage.
Baby massage.
Baby massage is one of the best ways that you can
bond with your baby.
Oh, yes. A father or a mother can bond with your baby because you've undressed them. It's very intimate. And you're massaging every limb, every part of their body. It promotes a lot of good attachment and connection with your baby. You don't have to be an expert in massage therapy.
How do you know you're doing the right thing?
If your baby is tensed up and is already crying, they're not enjoying it. If you are enjoying a massage, you're nice and relaxed and you let go and enjoy the process. But when you see your baby stiffen up their hands like that and they're tight,
not comfortable.
They're not comfortable, they're not enjoying it. So let's say you started with one leg and they're looking, they're enjoying. Then you start the other leg and she starts to fuss. Don't force it. I know there are cultures where they're like, nyorosha. You continue being hard on it by, if she's crying and she's stiff and tight, your baby is not enjoying the massage. So you can start slowly. Today you just do the legs. Tomorrow it's the hands, then the back. But it promotes a lot of bonding between the two of you.
All right. Shiro, I've had you, and this is very exciting. And I just wish when I was a young mom, I had this point as really, really helpful. So let's take a short break and then we continue when we come back.
Okay.
In our conversation today, we have Shiro Shiera from Nurturing Moms sharing pointers with us on how we can bond with our babies. I hope you've learned something so far. We are going to take a short break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to this episode of Today's Parent, where we are talking about how you can bond with your baby better. I hope you've learned something from our first part. We are going to continue our conversation with Shiro right about now. You know your name is such a tongue twister. Shiro, Shiera. The number of people who call you Shiro Sierra, I'm sure must be plenty.
There are many. It is okay.
But focusing on our conversation for today, George has sent in a question on our 22999 SMS number, and his question is, what about us dads? What can we do to bond with our newborns? What can you share with him?
One of the things,
and other dads who are watching.
I know. Thank you for that question. Some of the things dads can do is participate in the baby's day-to-day care. There are some really good dads who do. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I'm trying to do the analysis in my head. Out of 10 dads that you meet, you, Shiro, meets, how many dads help their partners bathe the baby? Out of 10?
I think 5.
that's a very good number then.
Yeah.
We are doing well.
5.
Then that's a good
I'm
thing.
usually like, you're so lucky because
That's
I
a
didn't
good
have
thing.
it either.
That's a good
As
thing.
we're among those ones who are, they're too small, I'm scared I'll drop
Mchukue
them.
mtoto
I know.
tumwoshe.
But even if you can't bath, you can help dry the baby,
Yeah.
oil the baby, speak to the baby,
Yeah.
read them a book. Okay?
As a dad.
Yes. Another way children really bond is somebody who rapidly answers to their cry. You know? So baby
Like
starts
respond?
to... Yeah, they're responding. So you go quickly pick up, that baby will know, okay, this one I can trust.
Yeah.
Because when I'm upset, they come and pick me up. Also, dads are really good with playing. Most times moms are so besides themselves,
are
they're so
tired.
tired. I have no time to start playing with you.
That's true.
And I get moms who say, me, my baby is more attached to their dad. Yeah, and the reason is dad responds to their crying.
Right.
Number 2, dad plays with the baby. Okay, so every time he's home, he's missed you, you come and play.
So dad
so you could have
feel left out.
Don't be left out. This mom could have spent the whole day with the baby, but they tend to be more attached to their dad because the dad responds quickly to their cry. Number 2, the dad plays a lot with them because there are some moms who are just not playful. There are moms who are really uptight,
proper
and they say, I don't know how to play. I don't even know how to talk to a baby. What do I say?
Is that possible?
Yeah, they're there. How do I talk to? Because I encourage them, please talk. You need to learn,
And they wonder
teach
what
them
you're
language.
talking about.
They're like, what am I to tell them?
Do baby talk.
Me?
Never.
What am I telling? So I'm like, you know, when you're changing the diaper, tell baby what you're doing. Say, now I'm changing your diaper, and then I'm going to clean you up. You're bonding. Baby needs to listen to you. Look eye to eye contact and tell them how you love them. And you know, using that warm voice, tone, singing, whispering, looking at them. Then you can go and doing.
You sound like a baby whisperer. That's okay.
Doing games. Now
at
you go
what
to
you
another
do.
level. Thank you. Peekaboo, sticking out your tongue. Once they get to a certain age, like 3-4 months, baby will copy. They start to stick out their tongue like you, blow bubbles like you. You know.
So it's not about them teething. I thought when they're teething is when they bubble.
They do that because
Okay,
they're
plus.
itchy, but they can mimic mommy or daddy when they're doing that to play with you. So it doesn't have to be, you have to wait for the baby to be able to get the pincer grasp or the grasp, to use the rattle.
Yeah.
You can do different things to entertain your baby.
But I love that you said, you know, dads don't need to feel left out. That you see when a baby needs to be changed, then you call the person nearest. Chukwani mtoto mkabadilishe.
And by the
dads
way,
can do that.
And nannies also tend to get babies bonding to them.
Do you know?
Isn't that sad?
Very sad.
Why? The nanny will respond to their crying quickly.
Immediately.
Number 2, the nanny will play with them a lot. Talking to them, singing, cuddling with them as they're trying to put them to sleep. Who do you think the baby will be more attached to?
The nanny.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the point then, you know, when you have a newborn, it's not like in the movies. It can be tiring, it can be stressful, it can drive you crazy.
Yes.
How can we as moms, especially as new moms, cope better and practice some semblance of self-care? How can we do that?
For one, you need to get a team around you who will help you.
Get a team around you.
Yes. So your husband who is supportive and needs to understand what his role is to be your partner.
Right.
Then get a help at home. You need to be relieved from all responsibilities other than caring for this baby. Remember, you've just had your baby, whatever mode of delivery, you're raw, you're sore, you're in pain.
Yeah.
So you need to just be with your baby breastfeed bottle and somebody takes care of your baby. Then allow your friends and family to support you. Many times they're shut out. 4 weeks, don't come. Okay? But their support, especially the nuclear family, they should be allowed to come and be able to support you.
So moms need to accept help.
Yes, a lack of support causes a high incidence of postpartum depression. You just feel low, you feel tired, you're not bonding, you're crying, you don't like your baby, you feel they've come and changed your life, you start to imagine harming them. Okay? Now, that you have to talk to your doctor so that then you're either admitted into a hospital, you're starting to have suicidal thoughts, or you get medication to help you with your mood.
You've reminded me of something. I was having a conversation with another mom last week. Hers was extreme to the point, not accepting this baby from birth because she had all girls and she was expecting to get a boy. So her number 4, and she didn't go for any scan because she had prayed and she was expectant of getting a boy.
Yes.
Then of course she gets
a girl.
A girl. Do you know what they name the girl, what they call the baby around the house?
The boy's name?
No, the girl, what they call around the house they call her. Hii kitu.
No way.
Yeah. So the baby has grown up and her pet name is Wapi Kaleka Kitu. And to her, you know, when she's saying it, it's something that, I mean, we've called this baby that for so long.
Oh my goodness.
So it is true that not everybody gets to bond with their baby. And even as they grow up, just accepting that this is what I have and this is my gift from God. And the baby grows up being called Kitu. That was very sad.
That is so sad.
That was very sad.
That is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I know with pregnancy, people do bond early.
Yeah.
Moms who go for the first scan and you hear the heartbeat at 6-7 weeks, you tend to bond and accept and attach to this baby, even if you don't know what the sex. Then other mothers wait until the birth happens. You bond through the childbirth experience. Then you can also bond through breastfeeding. But it's very, very sad to hear that. But it's not unusual because she didn't expect that.
No,
she had
not
believed
at
in
all.
her heart of hearts and had prayed and trusted that
Going
she
to get a boy.
Yeah. And also people don't make it any better. They're like, hey, was it a boy or a girl?
Msichana mwingine.
Mwingine. Hey.
Yeah, they don't make it any easier.
They don't make it any easier for this mother.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope they finally bonded.
Yeah, that was sad. That was very sad. We've talked about newborns. I don't know that people have 6-month-olds to 1-year-olds.
Yes.
Is there anything we can do there to bond with them?
Okay, continuing to care for them.
Continue to care for
we
them.
tend to imagine bonding is very scheduled, and I said in the beginning, continue to take care of them in terms of bath time. Make it fun. Let them enjoy bathing. Changing them, how you wipe them down gently, how you speak to them in such a nice, sweet tone.
Right.
The toys, by the way, you don't need to go and buy expensive toys. There's a research that was done, and it was practical. Have babies with very expensive, those Lamas and Fisher Price.
Yes.
And then bring pots and pans.
Sufuria
and moikos, and plastic things, and paper bags, and the wipes. Guess which one the baby wanted?
The sufurias, the wipes.
Yes.
Forget Fisher Price.
Let them play with the normal toys. So we tend to overinvest and spend on those things. So you can bond with them with playing that way. As mommy is cooking, these babies have their own drawer in the kitchen, cooking at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Dads tend to bond when the children are older, like a year old, where daddy can hold your hand and walk outside with you. Okay, so moms are like, oh, I feel like my husband is not yet bonded with my baby.
Right.
He doesn't know how to, he's feeling, oh my gosh, this baby is
So
small.
small.
They cry all the time,
So
where is
small.
mommy, so that they can breastfeed.
Yeah.
But once they're grown and they can actually communicate and hold hands and go, they bond better then, play more then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you have any other ideas so far, you know, when it comes to just bonding with our babies. Is there another one that comes to mind?
Of how to bond?
Yeah.
I think I've told you everything. I think I've mentioned...
I can't just let you go like that because...
What I wanted to mention is about mother taking care of herself. You mentioned self-care, but you cannot...
Very important. You can't bond if you haven't taken care of yourself. I love that.
Yeah. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're wound up, you're on edge. You need moments to be by yourself and just re-energize and diffuse if you're feeling really wound up. So it doesn't have to be that you're bonding 24/7. You can decide between this time and this time, it's my time to be by myself, and this other time it's my time to play with my baby, because you may not only have one child. You have others who are expecting you to be with them and spend time with them. But I'll say this, that babies tend to attach to a parent or a primary caregiver who responds quickly to their crying, and number two, who tends to socialize and play with them a lot. Okay? Now, that responding to crying doesn't mean you spoil your baby. Okay? There's that. Wacha mtoto alie kidogo. By the time they get into 3-4 months, you know they cry. You know, this is a fuss, or this is, they cry in their sleep and then they'll settle down. There's that.
But this one, they're totally uncomfortable.
But when
they
they're
could be in pain.
yes, pick them up and reassure them and soothe them. Yeah.
You know, we've talked about, you've mentioned it though briefly. And I know it's a very serious thing, because when we talk about bonding, and I haven't taken care of myself as a mom,
Yeah.
I think we need to talk about, because we have a bit of time, if we can just talk about it some more, what tips do you share with the moms on your platform, Nurturing Moms? Because there's somebody whose this child is so precious to them, and all babies, of course, are precious.
Yes.
But you are so attached to this child, you can barely go to the market. This child is 6 months, but no, you are in the house, you have to. And you have those moms. I know most of us, especially our first babies, we would watch them sleep. When we put our ears on their nose, we want to feel if they're still breathing.
Yes.
The attachment is so deep. You can barely let go.
But that's not normal.
Do you think?
No, it's not. It's a form of postpartum anxiety. Yes.
Who would have thought?
Yes, it is. I have a client who, her baby is now 2 or 3 years, but she could never sleep. She used to watch the baby, as you've mentioned. When she starts to doze off, she calls the husband.
Angalia mtoto.
Angalia mtoto. And he's supposed to stay there until maybe baby wakes up and passes on to baby. One day she woke up, mommy, and he was asleep. The dad had knocked off.
That must have been a cause of...
She wanted to scratch off his face. He's like, why? How can you sleep? How can you sleep? So now it became now, if daddy is sleepy, call nanny. So nobody is sleeping when this baby
Because
is
all
sleeping.
of us have to watch the baby.
Her fear is that the baby will not wake up or will stop breathing with her in her sleep. So with that, you need a lot of reassurance, but it's not normal. But then there's the bonding where, for me, for example, I didn't allow my nanny to touch my baby until he was 4 months. Until one day, yes, my sister asked me.
That's a lot of work to do by yourself.
God. She asked me, Shiro, what is it? She has never changed a diaper. I said, never.
How are you supposed to go back to work?
Exactly. I was done with work, by the way. I was done with that work.
Like, my work now is to take care of this little human being.
And I felt that is my role.
Your life purpose right now.
My purpose is to be a good mother. And a good mother doesn't pass her baby to... Now, for
I'm going
me...
to get this trophy.
Yeah. But super moms are not pretty, Christine.
It's a serious syndrome, by the way.
They are ugly because they are tired, they're frustrated,
And there's a nap.
they're moody.
Oh my gosh.
They're not kind to you. That's when I realized, I actually need to let go.
Yeah.
You need to let go. So don't feel guilty having to leave the baby for an hour or two just so that you can get your mind back on to, yeah, this is me and I'm okay. And, you know, I can walk out and I'll come back and find my baby safe.
That's important.
Yeah.
So Shiro,
Yeah.
as we are winding up, your final tips to our parents who are watching.
Yeah.
I love that we've mentioned about moms taking care of themselves, but our topic for today was
Bonding.
how we can bond with our babies better, especially your newborns and your small infants.
Yeah.
Your parting shot to our parents who are watching.
My parting shot is that it's a myth that bonding is the first time you see your baby, it will be instant love and you start to bond. Do not feel guilty if it doesn't happen instantly. It is a process, okay? And it has ebbs and flows. It sometimes is there, sometimes it's not there.
Right.
But allow yourself to always remember, respond to your baby and socialize them by playing with them. It could be very easy. Play with them because their brain development is really rapid between the newborn to 2 years of age. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Christine.
for your time. And with that, we come to the end of today's episode of Today's Parent, where we hosted Shiro Shiera from Nurturing Moms, who shared tips with you on how you can bond with your baby. I hope you've learned something from her. If you want us to connect you with Shiro, just send us an SMS on 22999. I have been your host, Christine Kasina, and we've been here in studio at Little Cribs, the home of fun, exciting, durable kids furniture. This is where you come to if you're looking for kids furniture. For parenting resources, go to www.supermamas.co.ke. We thank you so much for your time. Do have a wonderful day ahead.